Eduardo Kawak, the forgotten king who defied the gods of bodybuilding. In the shimmering, sweat-drenched world of bodybuilding legends, one name howls from the shadows. Eduardo Kawak, nicknamed the King of the World at his peak, Kawak wasn't just a competitor. He was a one-man rebellion against the very nature of aging, defeat, and mortality itself. But despite a jaw-dropping career that saw him tear through titles like a hurricane, Kawak remains the unsung titan of the sport, a tragic hero in a brutal coliseum that demands blood, muscle, and sacrifice. Born in 1959 in Beirut, Lebanon, Eduardo Kawak was baptized in chaos. Civil war ravaged his homeland, and young Eduardo learned early that survival meant strength, not just of body, but of mind. When he relocated to France, it wasn't just a change of scenery, it was a transformation. The small, wiry boy who had once dodged bombs and bullets would forge himself into an iron gladiator, a figure carved from pure, relentless will. By the time he entered competitive bodybuilding, the stage was already thick with monsters. Men with biceps bigger than human heads, torsos like ancient oak trees. Kawak didn't just want to be one of them, he wanted to crush them all. And for a terrifying period in the 1980s and early 90s, he did exactly that. Kawak was a 5-time world champion. Yes, you read that right. 5 times he stood alone on the summit, flexing a body so perfectly engineered it looked more like a weapon than a man. He decimated the NABA universe, the WABA World Championships, the IFBB Grand Prix. The man collected trophies like a lion piles up skulls. But there was a dark twist to Kawak's story. Despite his utter dominance outside of the IFBB Olympia circuit, the mainstream bodybuilding world, the big leagues run by iron icons like Joe Weider, refused to fully embrace him. No matter how sharp his abs, no matter how freakishly thick his lats, Kawak was seen as an outsider, a warrior at the gates, never quite allowed into the glittering halls of Olympia royalty. He tried. Oh, how he tried. In the late 1980s and early 90s, he stormed the IFBB stages, facing off against titans like Lee Haney, Rich Gaspari, and Dorian Yates. It was a slaughterhouse. Kawak's physique was phenomenal, dense, symmetrical, impossibly conditioned. But standing next to giants genetically engineered for mass, he often appeared outsized. It was as if he were a razor blade fighting sledgehammers. Year after year, Eduardo Kawak roared back into battle. He refused to break. His critics sneered. Judges underscored him. Fans, those who truly understood bodybuilding's brutal artistry, cheered for the underdog, the indomitable spirit who refused to lie down and die. And then came the true horror, age. Where other bodybuilders faded quietly, retreating into retirement and memory, Kawak fought on, past 40, past 45, past the point of reason. His flesh grew stubborn, refusing to recover as it once had. Injuries crept into his training like slow poison. The young lions rose around him, faster, bigger, newer, hungrier. But still he competed, still he flexed, still he dreamed of that one impossible victory. It was beautiful, it was tragic, it was madness. In a gut-wrenching twist of fate, Eduardo Kawak, the man who defied bullets, continents, and time, fell not to a defeat on stage, but to an early death. On May 21st, 2006, Eduardo Kawak passed away suddenly at just 47 years old. Some said it was a heart attack. Others whispered of the brutal toll decades of pushing the human machine beyond its natural limits had taken. Whatever the cause, the truth was undeniable. The king was dead. And yet,